Well, Coach, obviously this week's going to be a nice little battle for you guys. 2 games against some of the best teams in the conference. Just how are you preparing for it, and what are your thoughts on Virginia and Notre Dame?
Obviously, both great teams have had both of them have had some really big results. They've also obviously played against each other, and this is it, right? This is why these kids come to this school, this program, this conference to play against teams like these and in games like these. And obviously, we've got a pretty veteran group and kids who have been in games like these. We obviously played Virginia twice last year. They're good, right? They've always been, along with Florida State, a standard in terms of possession and quality of soccer and things like that. And obviously, playing at Klockner is a tough place to play. I'm sure it's going to be a phenomenal atmosphere, right? Thursday night game, television game, all those things. And I think our kids will be excited. For us, we've had a couple days off, and we'll hit the training field in just a little bit here. It's about preparing very specific stuff for Virginia and the problems they want to try and create for us, and us being able to solve them and their attack and some of their key personalities, and then also talk about ways where we can absolutely be us. Us has been pretty good, and I think we're in a place where, and no team wants to all of a sudden play against really good teams like this and change the world, right? We've got to be us, and we've got to be really good at being us. And I think if we do that, we give ourselves a chance to be successful, knowing that we're playing against obviously 2 of the top teams in the country.
Ahead of such an important 2-game road trip here, well, you're almost pleased last weekend to win a gutted-out style game?
Yeah, it gave us a couple different things. First time in an ACC game tied at halftime, right? That was our first time this fall being in a problem situation like that. And then also it was our first time having to kill off a game, all right? All of our 7 previous wins have been by 2 goals or more. And so even though, Clemson and Georgia 2-goal wins, in the waning moments, you're still 1 goal away from it being a 1-goal game. You're not 1 goal away from it being tied. So we had to figure out how to kill off a game, and able to review that and talk through some of the issues that went with that. It wasn't fun. It wasn't enjoyable. It was an awful feeling in the stomach. However, it was good for us moving forward.
So, Coach, could you talk a little bit about the availability of your roster? So, is Jenna going forward? Is she okay? And
yeah, she's felt really good the last couple of days, and I'm not prepared to say that 100% she is good to go, but trending in a very, very positive direction.
Okay. And how about Summer Denigan? What's her status?
Summer is still not with the team.
Okay.
But we'll see how things develop with her over the next couple days, couple weeks.
So the door is open that she could return?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's up to her more than she...
Yes, 100% ball is in her court.
Okay. And then also Heather Payne. So we know that she's going to be going to, her national team duties. Mm-hmm. Will she be available for Virginia or no?
She will not be. She will be hopefully trying to advance to a World Cup for Ireland.
And so she's going to miss the Notre Dame and Duke games.
She will miss Virginia and Notre Dame. They play early next week, and she will be on a flight to get back in time for the Duke game.
So you think she might be able to come back for the Duke game?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yep. Obviously, with all of our players, their health and safety and welfare is always number one, and she wants to be back in time and available to play the Duke game. And I told her that we're going to look after her health and well-being, and we'll evaluate at the right time, but there's no doubt she'll be here for the game.
So whether she plays is just questionable. You just have to see her fitness level.
See how she feels and all that stuff. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
It feels like that's part of being at Florida State, though, right? You got players going for national team duty, and part of why you got to build a roster that can compete and have depth.
That's exactly right. And, we were fortunate at Tennessee to have a few of those players as well. And we've always said it's the price of having good players, right? Simple as that. And kids can't feel anything other than excitement. And Heather in this moment has to feel excitement in terms of trying to go and advance to a World Cup with Ireland. She can't feel any guilt or anything about not being here. She wishes she could be in 2 places at one time. She knows how big these games are this week, but it is what it is. And when we said goodbye to her on Sunday morning, I made a joke, said go to the World Cup, and then all of a sudden all of our players started chirping away and cheering for her and things like that. So they wish she was here, but they couldn't be more happy for her that she's going in that environment and have an opportunity like that for her country.
Obviously not asking you to give away the game plan, but tactically, when you show the film of the Cavs and the Irish, what are you stressing to your team about both those squads?
Yeah, they're both really technical teams, and they both like to keep the ball. They like to move the ball, and then they have a lot of special players with special qualities, right? Obviously, we haven't really done anything with Notre Dame, but as it relates to Virginia, they've got kids who have scored goals. Obviously, Hopkins. I had the misfortune of having to play against her when she was at Vanderbilt, and unfortunately have the misfortune of playing against her again this week. You gotta manage her all the time, right? She's big, strong, fast, 5'10". She's a woman, and can't let her free in the box. Can't let her free on the end of crosses, restarts, things like that. She's dangerous. And Godfrey, one of the best attacking midfielders in the country, phenomenal. And then they've got others. Maggie Cagle, freshman Maggie Cagle, I think has 6 assists. Obviously, they've got wide backs who like to get forward. Their possession, Steve Swanson's always, coached one of the best possession styles in the country. And then as we turn to Sunday, same thing. A bunch of dangerous kids on a well-balanced attack from Notre Dame, and that's what the best teams have in the country, right? It's not 1 or 2 players you can stop. It's you got to stop a lineup. You got to stop a team. And fortunately for us, that's where we are right now. We've got 13, 14 different goal scorers. A handful of them have more than 3 goals, and I know Virginia has to game plan for us, and that obviously gives us a little bit of confidence knowing that's the case as well.
Coming from the SEC, obviously it's a great league, but being back in the ACC, has there been any adjustment sometimes to some of these tough Thursday, Sunday turnarounds again?
I don't know that there's a whole lot of difference. It's just within the league. While we all respect each other, there's no love lost, and points matter so much, right? Sunday games are so tough. The one Sunday game we had so far was here, 90 degrees against Clemson. They were coming off a loss, right? They feel like they've been close against Florida State over the years and nipping at Mark Krikorian's heels, to use literally Eddie Radwanski's words, right? So they wanted to win. We wanted to win. Both teams are tired, and it's some ways, right? And this is a Carolina thing, survival of the fittest sometimes on Sundays. And so, I think Thursday night is going to be a possession game, right? It's going to be, they're going to have the ball a little bit. We're going to have the ball a little bit, right? It's going to be a football match, a soccer match. And so sometimes, right, the strain on a body can be different than that in what sometimes in the SEC is a very transitional game, right? And it's physical and it's fast, and kids expending a lot of energy. So it's really game to game, and what happens on a Thursday night then impacts the things on Sunday. And then, like I said before, how well do you recover going into a Sunday, but then also what's the weather like on Sunday? So similarities and differences, and week to week, opponent to opponent, all that good stuff.
So, Coach,